from crazy town.
I'm telling you, we're having fun.
We love Phil.
Yes, the joy of the Lord is my strength. I don't know about you.
I need some strength to manage your joy. That's what I need.
Good evening, everybody.
Yes. Happy Monday.
It is a Monday. As I've said, the theme is summer is over, which is probably one of the most depressing times, even though technically we have until the 21st of September. It is still a very sad. I am a child of summer. I love summer. I love that at 9 o'clock at night, it'll still be sunlight and warm, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And Jen, on the other hand,
no, I love fall.
Fall is her fave.
I already have fall candles and with my summer flowers decorations everywhere. And Emma's like, why are there fall candles? But
she's counting down until September 1st when they officially release every pumpkin spice product you can imagine.
And then we will buy it all. I'm just kidding. I don't like pumpkin spice lattes anymore. That is a Plexus thing. It is crazy, disgusting, and too sweet to me, which I loved it before, but I still love the smell. And I love the nostalgia of all of it.
All right. So I appreciate you all joining. We're going to jump into it. Jen's going to stop being silly for a minute, and we're going to get focused here. So I'm going to share my screen because, PowerPoints are fun. We like to share PowerPoints.
I'm going to apologize in advance because there's a lot of words.
It's not that worry. No, it's not an eye chart. It's not an eye chart. Okay. So it is a Plexus New Year because, as we know, July 31st, the Plexus calendar reset. We had a little toast last month in July. And September traditionally is like a season where we see the start of a bigger harvest.
Yes. August is always a reset time. Everybody sees generally a lull in their business. People are just winding up things from their summer, trying to take advantage of those last few days with their families or change before a routine changes and before things really kind of get back in gear.
Yeah. So as leaders, what we want to do is we wanted to share with you what we are doing. And because you all are leaders, we want you to take ownership of what you're going to do for yourself and for your team. So we're going to transition from telling you what to do, which we've been guilty of in the past, and we want to share with you what we're doing and allow you all to emulate that or choose your own path. Cool?
Or take it and make it your own.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's level set. As I just said, summer is over. We have had some really great triumphs with equal parts disappointment and distraction. When I say we, it's not only just Jen and I, but I'm saying as a collective team. We talk to you, Jen talks to you all the time. We know some of the great successes and then also some of the equally parts disappointment and distraction you've had this year. We want to share that since January, we've had over 24 promotions on our team, team-wide, and that's fantastic. A lot of the people on this call right now have had those promotions. So we're so proud of that. That is always going to be the litmus test for us of success is how many people on our team are promoting, not whether Phil or Jen are promoting. Are there promotions going on throughout the team? Because that's what we strive and we believe and we want. And at the end of the day, regardless of whether we reach our individual goals, you all have to remind yourselves and tell yourselves that you are changing thousands of lives. And that's why we do what we do.
And even if you're not changing but one life, what we do is a gift.
That's right. So let's also level set, and I want to share our definition of leadership. This is
Mango's definition.
Our definition of leadership, and it involves 4 things. Establishing a clear vision. Hopefully we do that for you all as our team and our leaders, but we give a clear vision. We want to share that vision with others so that they follow. I love this last word, willingly. The difference between a butcher and a shepherd is that a butcher is in the rear pushing everyone, and a shepherd is at the front and letting people follow. We want to be shepherd, not the butcher.
That's good. I never heard you use that.
Thank you. Providing the information, knowledge, and methods to realize that vision. So it's one thing to say something, but then if you don't have any substance or any meat to bring to the dinner, everyone starves. And then coordinating and balancing the conflicting interests of all members. What is good for Katie isn't necessarily good for Sherilyn. So one of our little phrases I've said for 20 years is, I treat everyone the same differently. So what motivates Katie doesn't motivate Beverly, and what motivates Beverly doesn't motivate Monique. So you have to learn the different personalities on your team and figure out what makes them tick, and get your clear message to be delivered consistently but differently to all of them so they hear it.
Are you recording this?
I am recording this. It's so
Sorry.
good. Thank you.
Sure.
And then a leader steps up in times of crisis and is able to think and act creatively in difficult situations. This is a skill that you have to develop, in my opinion. Not everyone's born to, I can take this and run with it, but sometimes you're forced into it. Just know that all of you have the skills and the ability to do this kind of thing, to be able to step up and lead in the times of crisis.
And I don't even think crisis, we use that, Phil uses that word, and that sounds like it's an imminent, like what we're dealing with right now in South Texas seems very much like a crisis.
That is a crisis.
It is a crisis,
yeah.
Right? But many times on your team, you might have somebody come to you and go, well, I don't like that so-and-so posted that on my wall, or I don't like that somebody did this, or I'm really upset because the back office has 55 errors when you try to register somebody. We have little crises in our business that require us as leaders to respond differently than maybe the person bringing the issue to us.
Right. Okay. So here's the Mango plan. And it hasn't changed from the beginning of the year, but we just want to give you a refresher, know that we are living by this. We live it, breathe it, walk it every day.
And we're resetting. We're resetting to this.
For sure. Mindset, dreams, goals, and action. Those 4 steps. So let's talk about our mindset. Jen and I we start each morning in prayer. That's as soon as the feet hit the floor, I'm praying by myself. I know Jen does as well. She's up before me. She's got coffee and the Bible, and she's doing that. Before the kids walk out, we all pray together. That's just a common thing that we do every day. So that's where we start our day, and that's for us.
I'm praying over the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
and then pretty much by the end of the day, we finish with prayer, and in between that time, like around bedtime, is we're talking about the next day. So tonight, we're talking about Tuesday. All right, what are the things that we need to do? What are the plans that we've got? What are just some of the logistical things that are going on? And we kind of have that download from the day, and then set ourselves up, like before we go to bed, the last thought is, we're going to do great things tomorrow. So boom, head hits the pillow. We push away negativity in all forms at all times. Like, it's literally when we sense it on a person, or if there's any gossiping, like, oh, did you hear what happened with so-and-so? It's almost for me now a physical reaction where I will almost want to get up out of the room and leave. I just want no part of it. And you don't want to get into idle conversations about teammates, sidelines, this, that, and the other. It's such a waste of time, and it completely drains you of all of your creative energy and everything that you need to be successful.
And if I start to say, like, oh, I wish that, he's like, no, you don't go there. So having somebody to be accountable to at home is always good too.
And one of the things I'm resetting on, and Jen's really good about, is that we read and we spend a small portion of our day investing in our groove. She'll have Darren Hardy on,
Sarah Robbins.
Sarah
He can't
Robbins.
Stand any of it. He's like, turn that stuff off.
So loud. But no, I mean, we need to spend, and we do, investing in ourselves. So mindset. The reason a bumblebee can fly is not from aerodynamics, it's because of belief. Because aerodynamically, a bumblebee should not be able to fly, but yet it does, because no one tells it that it can't. So, mindset. Okay. Dreams. We've talked about this. You know that we're big dreamers. And I was, quick aside, I was at the fight. A friend invited me over to watch the fight. And this is someone we're just starting to get to know, and we hopefully will be part of the team someday. And I went over most people that I don't know, but some people that I connected with in church years and years and years ago, hadn't seen in a long time. Guess what? They follow me on Facebook. And the first thing out of this person's mouth, who I've not seen in 7 years, man, you travel a lot. And the first thing I said was, I love to travel. I didn't say like, oh, well, not so much. And, I'm trying to slow down. No, I love to travel. Yes. I dream of traveling to Paris with my kids at Christmas. Dream. I dream of taking my wife on a trip on our 20th anniversary in October. It's actually more of an action than a dream, but it started as a dream and we've turned it into an action. So dreams, write them down. Don't be afraid of them. Don't let any past failures affect you from dreaming in the future. And if you have, deal with that stuff so you can move forward. No one can take a step forward while they're putting a foot in the past.
And your business right now is a great time to do that because we are in a new year, like Phil said at the beginning, in terms of being able to earn that mill trip or the way that the events follow, and really take some time to, I know for me, because I have all the little sticky notes on my mirror behind my desk, there has been a number of them that have come and gone, that have not happened. And it's been a good opportunity for me to self-reflect. And I joked about this last night in our book study, but it's really true, is that none of us hate to look in the mirror at ourselves naked, right? You don't like to take full evaluation of what it is that you have to deal with, but you can't really change what you need to change until you look at it head on and go, okay, so why is it that we didn't hit this goal? What is it? And some of the times those things are going to be in your control. Many times they're not, but it's great to take that one down and go, that's okay. I didn't hit the mark this time, but this next year I'm going to be at Leaders Retreat. I'm going to earn whatever. I'm going to rank to Ruby. I'm going to rank to Emerald. Set those new goals because it's worth it. And I know Phil has this next little slide to go.
Yeah, no, it's good. So goals. Next thing is goals. So we start the month actually like right about now. So there's 3 days left of the month. We start talking about and strategizing and planning out some goals for the next month. So September 1 rolls around, and if we don't have our goals set, we're already behind. So we don't like to do that. We'll start talking about it now, preparing for it so it's written down, and we're ready to go come September 1. And by the way, those goals range not only with Plexus, but health. It's okay, just stop touching things. Health, Plexus, travel, finance, kids, you name it. We're doing all sorts of different goals and writing them all down. And then each night before bed, again, that's where we have a lot of our quality time. Just not even picking up on that one. You're just letting it go right there. Okay, so we set new goals for the next day in the week. So we're like, okay, how did we do? We sucked. We blew it. We did not hit it. Okay, wash your hands. Assess, and let's set some new goals and let's move on. We cannot live in tomorrow. We can only look forward to the next day. Action, and this is the key, right? Because we can have all these three things. We can set the goals, we can have the dreams, we can have the right mindset, but if we don't put anything into action, it's all just pointless. So whether you put in 30 minutes or an hour, or you put a full day of work in, take action. And we'll talk about a little bit later some of the action that we're going to be doing and we've done, and hopefully that'll help you as well. And then again, there's assessing of the activity, and do we need to adjust? And the simple assessment that we use, if an action was successful or not successful, was there a skill, will, or drill issue, which simply means, okay, I called 20 different people to try and get them to move on buying product. None of them did it. Okay, skill. What was I saying? How was I saying it? Was I coming off needy? Was I coming off pushy? Did I say the wrong things? Does my pitch need to be assessed? Will. Okay, did I wake up and I have a good attitude? Was I enthusiastic like I am right now, or was I Debbie Downer?
Were you smiling when you left a message?
That's right.
That's what Matthew says.
And drill. Was 20 what I was supposed to do, or should I have done 50? During that week or during the day or whatever it needs to be. So we assess it by those three categories.
And I'll just say here on the action, one thing to remember that is almost always part of your action is some sort of sacrifice. And we don't often remind ourselves or are willing to make a lot of sacrifice, but usually if you're working towards a goal that requires action, there's going to be something that will be sacrificed. And only you can decide what is worth being sacrificed. But at the end of the day, if you're not sacrificing something, more than likely you're not hitting your goals. And so you have to reevaluate that and take stock in that.
Absolutely. So here are some truths that we live by. Number one, we are going to fail way more than we win. I can tell you about baseball stats, and that you will make the Hall of Fame if you're a 300 batting average, which means that means that out of 10 at bats, you get 7 outs. You're unsuccessful 7 times, but you win 3 times. That makes you a Hall of Famer. So think about that. So, but we refuse to let that scare us ever
or stop us.
One of the things is, and we'll talk about that here in point number 3, but we know that nothing good comes from a place of complacency. Whether it's working out, whether it's taking action in our business, whether it is the volunteering that we do with me with hockey or Jen with theater, there's nothing good that takes place from complacency. So we refuse to be complacent in anything. We're active busybodies. Our family core beliefs, this is something I encourage you to develop if you don't have them already. And we only started this over the summer with our kids, talking about what kind of family are we? What are the things that you hold dear and true, so that if we were ever separated and someone asked about your family, you could say, these are our core values. So we came up with these as a family. And I could say to any one of my kids right now, tell us the 5, Mango core values. And they are generosity, honesty, faith, excellence, and leadership. Those are the things that whenever we're doing any activity, we want to think about and consider when we're doing. Are we being generous with our time? Are we being generous with how we share our finance and share everything that we do? I want to hold on. There's some folks here. I'm going to unmute here. 1 second. Go ahead.
It's just a great way to, what we have loved seeing about it is they're not things that we've ever really ventured away from with our family. We've always talked about all of those things, or we've always wanted those things for our kids. Mm-hmm. But by labeling them and talking about them in groups, and then asking them to quantify it. Okay, give me an example of one way that you're going to show excellence in this coming school year. Show me how you're going to exhibit generosity. Show me. It's so different, but they're able to take that and go, okay, wait a second. When I'm interacting with someone, then in discipline, we can say, were you operating in honesty? Were you operating with faith in that situation? So it's been a really good landing spot for our family, and lots of conversations, especially with older kids. But I think you can do it with younger ones and even your grown children as well. And
you can have these core values with your team as well.
Yes.
And then the last one is, we are going to see victory for those we link arms with, no matter how hard or how long it takes. If your journey is 20 years to get to a place that you want to get to, we just know that the Mangas will still be here linked arms with you. Because as long as you're fighting and pushing, we're going to be fighting and pushing alongside you. That is really the truths that we live by. Okay? So before we talk about, again, what we're going to be doing the rest of the year, I want to tell you about a fail. So we believe in practicing what we preach. We believe in being, leadership, which is doing the things it takes to be successful first as our own business, and then trying to replicate that with you all as our team. And so Jen and I had a goal of getting her to get the shopping spree. That's one of the things that every year we have failed to do, and it's up there. Jen sees it and misses, and it's some of the biggest rejection that she has to deal with throughout the year, right? She just wants it. Okay. But it's big.
Sure. It's
big.
A big thing, and it would be a huge thing to accomplish.
So I had this brilliant idea, and we talked it out, and I'm like, it's kind of brilliant. It's pretty awesome. And we called it, and we shared with our liaison. He was super
Oh my God, he was salivating at the mouth. Yeah. He's like, this is the next big thing. And we will give a little preface that it wasn't just this amazing idea that Phil thinks he came up with that I did, but I'll let him take it since it was a massive fail.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
But go ahead. If you want to explain it, you want me to tell you?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna mute. We got some unmuters. There we go.
So my mom had started sharing my mom has arthritis in her hands. She carries her ease with her everywhere, whether it's the little packets or her big thing. If she doesn't have, she'll carry her big pump in her purse. Well, she eats lunch and dinner for sure.
She's at a little senior living center.
So she eats dinner with the same 8 people every single night. and dinner, I say they ate it at like 5 o'clock, 4:45. But she started calling me saying, well, Mary Jane needs some Ease. She wants to order some Ease. And then so-and-so wanted to. Well, the third bottle of Ease, after her sharing with her friends at the dinner table, because they were talking about how their knee hurt, their back hurts, their shoulder hurts, we were like, wow, there's a market here.
Yeah. So we're like Operation Cocoon. We're going to.
Can you explain? Because a lot of people are young that don't know what Cocoon is.
Cocoon is a movie from the 80s where these older people,
yes,
they become young again because of an alien. Okay. Deal with it, rent it. Wilford Brimley's finest moment. Okay, Jessica Tandy.
Okay, go.
So we're like, we're going to get out to call every, there were 55. I did the research. I had our son who worked for us over the summer. He did the research. He found 55 different senior living centers in just our Frisco, Louisville area, Louisville, Plano, etc. Found out the activities director's name. We worked on a script. He cold called, and I cold called. And Jen cold called, trying to set appointments so that we could come in, present Plexus, talk about pain relief, Ease, and the point was that we could get. Our goal was to get 300 customers in the month of August, because 300 customers at $50 in PV gets 3,000 points. She blows by and gets all the prizes, and all these octogenarians are feeling better with Ease.
And maybe a little slim.
We set, and then I took my Riley out. We went cold calling door to door. Like, we'd spent a day. I just taught him, like, this is what Daddy did, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, going door to door sales. I'm going to teach you how to do it. Mm-hmm. And we spent a day together cold calling, and he set one appointment and got $10 for every appointment that he set. So he got $10. It was awesome. So it was a great experience. So here's what we learned. We did one presentation. Those octogenarians love talking nonstop over you. They don't care. They're going to tell you the truth. And long and short of it,
apparently none of them hurt. When you ask them if they are in any pain, none of them hurt whatsoever. A lot of them thought that they needed to lose weight at 80 and 90 years old. They were interested in trying the drink, but then it just was on every level. We realized this is about relationship, and unless you have that relationship with them to give the influence, they were super duper skeptical. I mean, the most skeptical audience I think I've ever had, ever. Kind of fun walking around a table, but you like, no. Really good for your ego to get all those no's out of the way.
So the funniest moment was there was one gentleman who was interested, and he called Jen, I think, on a rotary phone.
Like 5 times in about 3 days.
She gave him a sample to try. And he said, how am I supposed to make this last 30 days? Do I take a little bit of powder from that one little stick and make it try and go 30 days? Or
because we had given him information. He wanted all the information printed out so he could read it. Yeah. So I printed it big, and then he was like, well, it says here that this is a 30-day supply. So this one packet, how do I make this last 30 days?
Yeah.
So
here's the thing. We share this story because, one, it's cute, it's fun, but it wasn't a fail, because if you are trying and you're thinking outside the box and you're being creative, and you're trying to help people, because at the end of the day, there was a need that your mother shared and we were trying to fulfill it. At the end of the day, it was a great experience because we found out that's not a great market for us. We
don't have the patience.
Our kids participated with us and learned a lot about sales and the ups and downs and all the things that you have to do. So it was an awesome experience.
Well, and we also, with every situation that we booked, I also got lots of potentials, and I have people in different stages with trying the product right now. Yeah. That were the directors or worked in the facility. So there was nothing lost. No. We just definitely realized that we needed to course correct, that was not going to be our path. Matthew was bound and determined. He did all kinds of research. He's like, Phil and Jen, y'all are in on something, because
and maybe we are.
And maybe y'all take this and run with it, because maybe you have more patience with that population than we do. But he said in the next 10 years, 67% of the population will be 60 years or older. So our market is moving towards an older generation. It's very interesting information, and we learned a lot. Yeah. And laughed a lot.
Okay. So why will the rest of 2017 and 2018 be any different than what you've experienced in the last 6 months, the last year, the last 3 years. Okay? Let's tell you why we think it's going to be different. And this is where I'm going to transition for Jen to finish while I go pick up my friend.
Okay. So you're heading out. And I hopefully, I'll be good.
Okay.
Thank you, babe. And this is really just some things as I've been resetting, like Phil said, and focusing on the new month and taking in what goals I have personally for myself. You know, the good news.
Stop share so you get out of the screen. You're done with PowerPoint.
Okay.
Hit the red button at the top.
And that's it? Okay. Is that, like, thinking about September, like Phil said at the very beginning, we're going into a new season and we go into a ramp up season. So many of you have talked to you about the next 60 to 90 days will set you up for 2018. And so we're coming out of summer. Summer is over. The time where we've gotten to play more, rest more, be laid back more is really over. If you take this business, and I know for me, and when I say you, I'm talking about myself too, is that I can no longer give myself the permission to cut out and to take a break and to take the day off or push it to another day. And so really the big first thing for me is getting focused. There's no magic here in what we've listed out in terms of what you need to do going into the end of the year, but getting focused on a daily basis. I brought my little IPA sheet because this is, I don't know if y'all can see this. I'll show you when we stop the screen share. But it's just one of those, there's lots of them out there. You can create your own. You don't have to have a printed sheet to work from, but it is helpful. We've printed those. We have them on our team page as well. But thinking about, what do I have to get done today? And we talked about this again in our book study last night, is that so often we have a list in front of us of what we know we want to get done. And we look at the first thing and we get that done. But in the midst of your phone being in front of you, the computer being on, Facebook being open, you go to do 10 other things and not the second thing on your list. So really making sure that IPA comes first. You know that you have to talk to new people every single day. Number 2 is playing to your strengths. For me, my strength is sharing with other people about the opportunity. So I'm putting myself in new positions, in new opportunities. I'm taking willingly, taking a position with our high school theater board. One, to be a part of my kids' high school education and experience, but also those are, for the most part, all new families that I have not had contact with before. I'm going to build a relationship with new people so that I have new people to share product and the opportunity with. So play to your strength. Think about, what is it that I'm so good at, that I'm good at when I start this business that comes easy to me, and play that up. I think a lot of times we're focused on, what is it that I'm not good at that I need to fix? And I really want you to think about, at least for me, my focus is going to be, I'm going to play to my strengths, because I don't have a lot of time in my day, just like all of you don't have a lot of time in your day for your business. Then continuing to work on me. Phil touched on that before, but really being dedicated to, which I got away from some this summer, of putting some sort of self-development in front of my face, in front of my eyes, in my ears every single day. Then number 4 is going to be really big for our team, that we're still in the works of, that's my focus over the next 48 hours. 72 hours to get ready for our team for September, is a potentials page. And this is not going to just be like, I know several of you have education pages, customer pages, which are awesome for your customer base, but this is going to be, and without having it, I'm sorry about my dogs. Kids, maybe they'll be quiet. This will be where you can add people once you ask their permission. These are people ideally that would say, oh, Monique, I saw your post about leptin. I'm really intrigued. I didn't know that Plexus affected that. Can you give me some more information? This would be a place where you could actually say, hey, I'd love to add you to a page that my team and I, or you can say my colleagues and I, or you can say my Plexus friends, whatever you want to say, where I have people go to learn more about Plexus. And so we're going to I have all of the slides and all the information that I'm going to be packaging together with y'all's help to put in this page. And then twice a month during that team, all within that group, we're not going to send out invites. We're not going to send out reminders. You just have your own potentials that are in that group that you're going to naturally be feeding into and following up with. We will have 2 opportunity meetings that will be 25 to 30 minutes apiece, that will be on kind of like when you guys have done those Facebook parties that you feel like are so helpful, that we'll do prize giveaways. We'll do some information. We may or may not do some lives during that, but on Thursday evenings twice a month. What's going to be great about that is that you're going to know, like the second and fourth Thursday of every single month, I can anticipate that there's going to be an opportunity where I can kind of help nudge one of my potentials towards joining. Now, that doesn't mean that you won't have them joining with you in other times, but this is something that we're gonna focus on from now through the end of the year and see how it works. The only teams that I see growing on the Jules page are doing this. The only teams that are growing right now. And I've combed through the pages trying to figure out who's doing what's working. And again, we go back to, we have to be focused first, and we have to play to our own strengths. We have to continue to self-develop. But then with the business, where can we duplicate? I don't want to spend tons of time on, let's duplicate, let's teach them this, let's teach them the comp plan. We have all of that information, y'all, at our fingertips in your back office. We need to direct our ambassadors to that information, tell them to go read it, and then say, come back to me and I'll answer your questions based on it. But to spend the time in a team page to go, okay, well, so today we're going to talk about compensation plan, and next week we might talk about die-off effects. All of this information is going to be housed in this potentials page. And then that new information, we'll spice it up. We'll change it slightly for these opportunity meetings, but they will become very automatic for you of knowing and how to anticipate what's going to come. As a leader, you are invited to give your feedback and to tell me and to share with what's already listed on our leaders page of what you like that's in that document, what you don't like, what you'd like to see added. And we will really use that as kind of a working document that we all kind of can grow and morph as we see successful. Okay, I don't know how to take that off, so I'm going to leave it. And then daily lives to our team. Again, looking for ways to encourage engagement. And again, this is not anything particularly new, but I'm going to be really looking at like maybe doing a Monday Moxie. Like, where do you find your Monday Moxie? What's a great, for motivation and thinking about a way to motivate our ambassadors. Tuesday, I might invite people to say, let's share a testimony. Who can jump on and give a live testimony? How many of y'all loved when we had Rachel come on live who talked about her team having such a high retention rate, and she shared those 6 how Plexus affects you positively in 6 different areas. She was only on there 5 or 6 minutes, but she gave us so much new information. So I am really dedicated then, starting in September through the end of the year, to really give the team on the team page some daily lives, do some fun stuff on Fridays, do a Friday fun giveaway, make it fun and make it inviting. And again, these are just examples of things that I'm going to do that I would love for you to participate in, and then maybe take and do something different or the same on your own team page to create your own culture. And then the last, oh wait, no, sorry y'all, I don't know how to do this. That's the last one, yeah. It's just, we would love to hear from y'all. Okay, I don't know why this mouse doesn't work. Of course it doesn't work. I need my son in here to help me. Oh, did that do it? Can I go back to y'all? I want that gone. Phil Mango, are you there still?
I'm here. All you have to do is hit the little red button that says stop share at the top.
I did that, and they're still all in a here, let's try that. No,
hit the escape button. Come on, baby.
This is not my strong suit, so this is why I do not like doing this stuff. I don't see where I'm supposed to hit escape on here.
On the keyboard, sweetheart, you can't hit the escape button?
Yeah, I can hit that on there, but it's not doing anything. So it's fine. Where do I make the screen big on their pictures?
I can't walk you through it, sweetie. It's really, I don't know what to tell you. Just talk.
Sorry, y'all. This is I told y'all, not my thing. Hide thumbnail video, show small active speaker video. No, none of those are what I want. And that's
the view.
Honey, just get going. Get going.
Okay, so Who has anything they want to share, feedback, ideas? Who's excited about September 1st? One thing I didn't share that's not on here that we're working on, if you guys saw my tease a week or so ago about the 3 prizes, we are formulating a fun, simple contest for September that will include those prizes that you saw, that you made some choices about. Really focusing on the idea of 3, the power of 3, getting 3, only 3, and what 3 things do we really need to focus on in our business as a team-wide kind of a theme for the month. So y'all know September is a fun time for us, but we will be gone for a week of that time from Hawaii, being in Hawaii. So we want to make sure that we start off the month really strong with some fun ideas, but we would love to hear y'all's. So y'all can unmute yourself because apparently I'm incapable of doing anything on this computer at this point, except looking at our dolphin picture behind. I want to make that small, but I'm afraid it's going to do something to y'all. What happens if I do that?
Honey, stop talking. There you go. Let everyone speak.
I like the potentials page. I think that's a great idea. I don't have it totally in my head, but I think it has a lot of potential. Ha! No pun intended. But I love that idea. Yeah, as opposed to an education page, a customer page, even though people on our customer page could be put on there.
Right.
But I love how you just have an audience ready for an opportunity meeting. I don't love Thursday nights personally because I can never participate, but that's always going to be the way. But I think the idea is great. So other teams that are doing this, Jen?
Yes. Growing by 100 to 150 people a month that are new Emerald teams or even smaller underneath them. And really the idea is of just getting really good at when you find something that works, not changing it. When you're good at learning how to invite and still continue to cultivate the relationship, but it's not just Sherilyn pounding at Carrie to sign up. Pounding at Carrie to say, "Oh, Carrie, did you look at the catalog I sent you? What did you think about the sample?" It's much more natural that they're getting kind of that oozing of Plexus on them willingly because they've asked you about it. And a lot of times then our new people, somebody, they make one post and they get asked about Plexus and they panic or they throw up on them. This will be a nice way to say, hey, let's just go add them here. And then there's some control. If there's questions asked, leaders will be admins to go in and answer the questions, and they're not getting some kooky answer. They're not getting some, well, I tried Plexus and it never worked for me. I drank 5 ounces of water a day, and that, so we can do all of the things that we want to do there, but with the goal and the focus of them seeing the potential. And the Thursday night thing came from kind of across the board. People said, where do you see the most success? And that's because it's close to a payday, usually on a Friday.
Sure.
Statistically, Facebook is got the least amount of competing traffic on Thursday nights. All of this I've just been gleaning and learning and trying to assimilate and then want to share. I've initially shared some documentation with you guys on the leaders page. I'm going to invite you to really dig in, and we'll ask some questions in the next 2 days as we roll this out to make sure. And then, are you going to fix this for me, Riley? Okay, Riley's going to come save the day. I don't think you know what to do. That one? No?
Share.
Stop sharing.
Can I say one more thing before Erica maybe changes the direction? Yay! I think it capitalizes on our strengths too, because I might have a potential who needs specific detailed information like a Katie Wheeler is going to give that I will never give. Mm-hmm. And someone may need my enthusiasm or whatever. I love that collaboration. I think that really has a lot of potential. And I'm not complaining about Thursday nights. It's just,
I know. And there's never going to be a perfect time.
Yeah. And it also might work sometimes.
It brings us also back together. Sorry, Erica, I know you want to say something. It just brings us back together in a way that's really functional and effective versus there has definitely been some disconnect in our team, and that's I think that happens for different teams for different reasons, always in different seasons. And without going and saying, okay, Sherilyn, what can I do to make you and I feel more connected? What can we do? We need to have more conversations. What can I do on your team? This way we kind of, because we're collaborating, we'll all come back together and have that sense of one Plexus, but that Team Mango feeling that I think that we've had that we've kind of lost a little bit. Erica.
So we've been doing something similar to this already with our leaders on our team. And I've gotten some really good feedback because, like Sherilyn was saying, like Katie today did a whole long, very scientific, very smarty pants, ingredient-based post. And that's something that I would never put out there. And so we've seen not only that it's valuable for our potential, because I've also put potentials on this page. It's not just a customer page for me. Like I have potentials on there too, because I want them to see all of this. But, oh my gosh, where was I going with this? Oh.
Is it good for your newbies?
This is what I was going to say. Yes, it's great because we see that they're copying some of these posts, making them their own, and then sharing as well. Awesome. So even sometimes if those posts don't get a whole lot of love, I'm seeing them, posted later on. So it's great for new people. It's great for, like today, Monique did a post on there because I have like specific admins. Like you said, you don't want whoever hoot nanny talking about whatever out there. And she did a post today about cucumbers and why, it has vitamin K and that's in our X factor. And I had somebody message me about it. So they didn't say anything on the actual post, but she wanted to know more. So I think it's working really well. And I think that it's something that everybody should be doing. Totally. I could see it being very successful. We don't have the opportunity meeting as part of ours, but I can always, invite them.
Awesome.
So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and I could see a lot of people just learning from it, about the product, about the business, all kinds of things just naturally.
Yeah. It's like a bank of information. Sorry, I'm having dinner.
I just finished mine too.
That's okay. Good. I'm glad they are.
Compliance. If it's in a group, you don't have to worry so much about compliance, right?
We're hiding. Yes.
Yeah.
We're hiding. For sure. Well, those testimonies and those things that we would love to have out there, it's great to have the opportunity.
I think that's going to be awesome, y'all.
I'm excited about having both a customer page, but also a bigger team, like an event that happens on the regular. Mm-hmm. I've had new people say to me, "Oh, are there parties? What are we gonna, what's this, what's that?" And to try to kind of sort through with them and look at all the old parties we've been in and try to pull stuff together can be really daunting. And this is a great way for new people to jump in and do like a regular, like a party.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I kind of like having different aspects. And at first, I will say I was nervous about having one page that repeats on the same page, because I got to thinking, well, okay, how did they know where to jump in and how far back to go? And are we going to repeat the same thing over and over and over? But then again, you don't have to wait 2 weeks if you have somebody right now that missed last night's.
Sure.
Right? You can add them in and they can go back and read if they want to. So I don't know. I was kind of wondering a little bit about that. And then.
Yeah. So I know that the post sheet, a couple of the girls that I've talked to have said that they tweak things, like they'll change the testimony. If there's an X factor, they'll do the same maybe X factor slide again, but a different testimony regarding that or something like that. So you're constantly giving them new information. The reality is that most people are not Katie Wheelers that will go back and read a page and go back and go digging. Unfortunately, they're not. They're just, the exposure that most people are going to get is going to be kind of like, we'll still have to remind them. If you put a potential in there, be like, you know, I added you to that group last week. Guess what? It's so exciting. This Thursday night, which is, you know, today's Wednesday, whatever. Tomorrow night, there's going to be this awesome, like 30 minutes. You want to make sure, I don't know if you've really paid attention a whole lot or been able to see a lot, but there's going to be a 30-minute window and you're going to be able to win some prizes and talking about it there. And then you can say, if you're going to offer a special, which you are totally willing to do, but we won't do as a group, just we'll say get back with the person that invited you to this page. You might say, I'm offering something this Thursday and Friday night. So if you watch it and get back with me about something that you learned, I'll give you a XYZ. But I think for the most part, because I know we've had that issue in the past with the 7-day challenge group, right? Where we've said, let's go back and add them. But it wasn't on a recurring basis. Nobody was filling it up. This page is not my page. This is our page. So I can't I realize too, as a leader, a lot of my growth has come to realize I can't, and nor do I want to be in the end all be all, do it all. That's exhausting. You don't want that either. You really don't. So if we can work this together to say, you know what, I found this thing about cucumbers and I love this. And Monique says, I want to share it. You have at it. Share on that page. If you see something that speaks to you and you need to answer a question and I haven't done it, or Terry hasn't done it and it's Terry's friend, reach out and answer the question. I think if we spread the load as well and not feel like it's this, oh my God, I got to manage this. And now, because that's stressful, and then we all end up at some point giving up because then it's not worth it either. The hard part with what Katie, like I know even, and I need to apologize, the pressure that's put on you a lot of times, because you're our go-to girl many times, or Monique, both of you, is that you're answering questions and spending lots of your time on things that don't matter for you, ultimately for your business. And I know you love giving of your time, but that gets old. It just does, right? It just gets old. I know Erica and I have had conversations. Erica's great at building new relationships and getting people to sign up. So people go to her and say, I need you. And she doesn't mind giving of her time because she loves it. But at some point when she's doing it for an hour in a day and she still needs to work her own business, it becomes exhausting. And because you're not getting something from it. So if we can do this where we really still focus, the focus doesn't change of building and bringing in potentials, but we're all kind of sprinkling what we're good at and playing to our strength, and then have these meetings happen on a regular basis. Those posts are going to get so pushed down, Katie, that I don't think we need to worry about the new people that we add or the people that have been there for a couple weeks. And again, that should be part of our follow-up. You've joined, you're with me now. I think this page is still beneficial, but at any time you can take yourself out, because now I'm going to put you on my team page because you're a part of our team. And we want you to utilize this to build your own business.
So do you have a timeline, or what action plans do you need from us? I mean, how can we help launch this? What do you want us to do?
I think we need to get a hard yes from who wants to help initially create the page. Look at maybe 3 areas that you feel like you want to see immediately up. Like if it's gut health is really important to you, if it's drinking water is super important to you, if it's exercise. And maybe if we each commit to having 3 posts ready for launch at some point next week, and we can we'll come up with a schedule, and we'll just kind of say, let's make sure. And I don't want it to be this massive organized monster that it's like, oh my God, is Terry posting at 9 a.m. on Tuesdays and Sherilyn's posting at 5 on Thursdays? I don't want it to feel like that, because I think we've all been doing this long enough that if you get on the page and you see there's been 4 posts that day, save what you have for tomorrow.
Right.
But at the same time, if you feel really strongly about something that you've just seen and you think, oh my gosh, this is a great post for the potential page, go throw it on there. Don't wait for somebody to go, well, it's not my turn or it's not my time, and then do that. And then I think the biggest thing that needs organization and a walkthrough, and we'll do a mock page, I think, and I'll add you all to the mock page, is what that first opportunity meeting looks like. And again, it doesn't have to be super duper fancy. It's just going to be something that we can kind of anticipate that gets the information out there that's valid information, but then doesn't put the load on everybody like, oh, I have this Facebook party I got to get ready for.
So can I ask a question about the opportunity? Will that be in a separate Zoom, or will it be live post on this page? Like that, I'm kind of confused about how that
It will be like a live Facebook party on the page Thursday at 7:30. There will be a post that goes out that says 30 minutes to showtime, 30 minutes to start our family party, or whatever we want to name it. We also need to name it. So that's not opportunity meeting, because that's super boring and yuck. I hate that. So maybe it's a happy hour. Welcome. We're starting happy hour in 30 minutes. The feedback in general from all these leaders that are seeing the most success is that they want to spend the majority of their time individually after that meeting closing the deal. They don't want to be on there live, and they said that lives they've really found actually limit interaction now. If there's all of us on there and we're all talking, but usually you only have 1, 2, maybe 3 potentials that feel strong, feel brave enough to like ask the question and have somebody answer them right then. So they don't spend a lot of time doing lives.
Okay, can you share with us some of the other names of the pages that people are using so that we can?
I can go back and look at that. I don't know it off the top of my head. A lot of them are using Post My Party as well, which I'm not. Yeah, Katie, what?
Okay, I tested out that Postcron. It's free. It's like Post My Party, but it's free.
Okay.
And so I set up to go to one of my like test pages, and I just did like test 1, test 2, test 3, and I set it up every 3 minutes. And when I got to test 10, it posted all the 10, and then it gave me a message that said, you need to register for some other version of this to keep posting, whatever. But it kept posting. Like, it posted like 16.
Oh.
So I can test it again to make sure. What?
Did that message just come to you, or was it on the post?
Yeah, I was like, as I typed in the next scheduled, and I clicked schedule and I picked a time, it like stopped me for a second, and it was trying to get me to, buy something. And then for whatever reason, it went on anyway and did it. So I'll try it again.
Okay.
And I'll just set up like 20. So I guess what I would want to know is, okay, I'm a little confused on, are we going to be posting all the time in this page, or are we doing a 30-minute event every other Thursday?
No, we're both. This is the potentials page where they can come and learn about Plexus in a non-threatening way, but they know that there's something coming where there's going to be 2 prizes given away twice a month. That's giving you the information. So let's say, Katie, you can add your potentials. Jane is one of your potentials. Jane joined your team. Jane is now new. Jane wants her potentials to join. It's going to be this constant flow of things. To answer your question, Terry, ideally to use Post My Party or Postcron, this Postcron that Katie's looking at, that's the other big component of this, is to find something so that we can be on interacting, but we're not sitting there formulating and hitting send for the post.
So Hootsuite, that's what I used.
Okay.
Does it post to groups? Hootsuite, does it post to groups?
I think you can pick exactly where you want it to post.
Okay. Most of these apps, you have to be the administrator of the group to be able to
use them.
Use the app to post to it, I think. But I think you can have several. I think I did that. I'm not sure if I did that on our customer page, Erica. I can't remember if I set it to post for me or if I woke up early and did it, but I think it let me choose it.
And I think it'll be, something that kind of morphs with time. Like, we'll try it and we'll say, no, you know what? We don't like that. That's not helpful. This needs to be a living thing that gets constantly evaluated and says, okay, well, was that 30-minute happy hour that we did, was that beneficial? How many ads did we get? I mean, one group shared the exact thing that they did, and they had 53 ads in 3 days.
From the 30-minute thing?
Yes.
That's kind of what I'm looking for, is to have something that's like more of a team event, short duration, on the regular, to be able to add people to, where they can see what's going on there. And
and the reason why we're going to leave it open and with other posts is because some of the trap becomes that you lose credibility with your audience when you're slamming them with, I've got a party. I mean, how many times do you get invited to something and you're like, delete, no. Or somebody will invite you and like, are you kidding me? You haven't reached out to me in 2 years. I haven't even spoken to you, and you're adding me suddenly to this, inviting me to this party. this should be something that is constantly growing. And again, I don't know for those of you that have a customer page, or if you're adding people potentials to it, if you'll feel like it's overload. I think again, you're just going to have to kind of see and play with it and see what it ends up being. But I think that if there's benefit in having a larger group doing it, because then Terry has, 3 people, Beverly has 5 people in the group, Monique has 1 person, Diana has a handful of people, and then you have more likelier to have participation and comments that are not just all Plexus people, because they don't always know that, but when I've been in a Facebook party, one person asks a question and then there's like 6 of us that answer it. It's like, oh, holy cow. That's a lot. It can be intimidating and overwhelming too for that potential.
I think this also will supply and demand isn't the right word, but when you have a page like that and you add somebody and that person sees all these other people commenting, oh, maybe I should try that, or, then I think that it stirs more interest and
peer pressure. Yes.
Validation that now 55 people are validating it. And I think that it can only help us if we do it right. I mean, it can hurt us if we do it wrong. Like posting 15 times a day, they will get that.
Right. No. Right. So there's parameters. So I would love, all of you have very, which I love, very strong feelings about things. I would love to hear what maybe 2 are your biggest, what you would love to see most on this page and what you would not like to see on this page. And we'll kind of compile that and make sure that we're accommodating everybody's desires as best as possible. One thing I think, like, I would love to see testimonies on there. I still think we need to put the disclaimer on there so that we're covering ourselves no matter what, if somebody's taking a screenshot or whatever, but having more freedom to be able to share where you might have somebody be able to relate, where you're not sharing that on your public wall and you're missing maybe that opportunity to get somebody in. So,
Well, maybe we could put a disclaimer in like the pinned post.
Sure.
Something where it's always there. I mean, who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I like it. So this
okay,
is
the other thing
over the next couple of days. So
okay, I'm gonna just tell y'all, I'm like a critical reader. So I read through the whole thing. It needs some edits, man.
Well, and that's why I took it and said, I'm going to dump it here, and we take it and make it ours and fix some things. And yes.
Okay. Yeah, like grammar, spelling, and some compliance stuff stuck out to me right away because that's how my brain works. Mm-hmm. So, Erica, were you going to say something?
Katie never has a typo, ever. Never.
I always
can't help it. I can't help it.
Almost always.
I see one, I gotta edit it. I can't help it. I can't help it. I can't. I'm like, this information is not my friend. So, that said, I already went through it.
I love it. Then edit it away, and
you want me to post it back on there? I know it's on my phone. I think I can post it back on there.
Again,
I didn't want to be all obnoxious and annoying, but I was like, I can't handle it. I had to change it.
Go for it. Okay. I love you for that because I won't take the time to do that.
At least it's a place to start without, errors. That just would make me crazy.
And then here's the only other thing that I'll say is that my heart for all of us and for this page is to operate in grace, to assume the best in assume the right intention in anyone and everyone that posts as a leader or as a potential or as a new ambassador, because by nature, when you put numbers of women all in the same group, numbers of people in the same group, things can be, I don't know, why does that even matter? What is that? This is so funny. She's not even looking. Did you read that, Diana?
No. What did I miss?
Read the comments, girl.
Oh, I'm on my phone. It's so hard to get to them.
Oh, Erica asked if you were naked. That's all.
No, it's a tank top. I just have really long hair now.
Again, a great example of assuming the best intentions of everyone. No, but that's my heart, and I hope I think that and know that it is yours too. But before we start, and I know that again, like Katie, you know that that's not my strong suit of editing. So if you see that and that's your strong suit, I say again, play up to your strength. Play up to your strength, and then we'll be better together than we are apart. So.
Okay. I will say it is I know it's my strength, but I feel weird imposing it on other people. So like right away I went through and I was like, oh, I need to change this. And then I was like, oh, I can't post this on here because they're just going to think I'm just being a stinker. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I really don't. That's the furthest thing from the truth. And that's what, our mind would want us to think, right? Is that, well, I don't have a valid part to play in this, or if I do, then it's going to be misconstrued. It's not.
Well, and we're a team. We want it to look a certain way across the board for everybody.
Yeah.
So
we don't want misinformation. We don't want misspells. That just doesn't look professional. So yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So what are we saying? We're going to start in September?
We're going to start in September. My goal is to start I really would like to do them the 2nd and the 4th week, just thinking about paychecks. Again, people are generally paid on the 15th or the 30th or the 1st of the month, whatever. So,
so mock page first. And then I'll do another test tonight on that if you want me to. I mean, if you guys already have Host My Party, you can use that. But the post cron, especially if different people are, and like Terry said, whoever you have, just test it out to a group. But I like that post cron one person could load a bunch and have it go. Every few minutes for a party.
So we need a team page name and we need a event name. So if you like to think about those things, share those. I will be active on the leaders page a lot tomorrow. That doesn't mean that you have to be if you're busy or not, but be looking there for giving your input or asking questions and as we create things, any of us create things, let's post them there and say, hey, I was thinking about this for the page, and then we'll start to build it and put it together so that I don't think it's feasible to think that it will necessarily be at Friday, but by the end of the weekend, maybe we would have something up and going that we could start adding people to.
Perfect.
Okay, awesome. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all and am excited for September. And if you need help with your end of month stuff, let us know. But onward and upward, right? I know it's late.
And just one last time, Erica, it's a tank top.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah. I know Monique's kind of testing it too. I mean, y'all are all kind of giving it. Yeah.
Like shimmy.
I kind of feel like a nun to dying.
Ooh, Erica.
We were on our team call and I was speaking and I looked up in the corner and I could see Trila just dying laughing. I mean, she was dying laughing. And so finally I said, Trila, what is so funny? She goes, oh my God, Monica's in the bathroom. And I looked across and I was looking at a toilet. And we were just like, we were dying. We were like, oh my gosh, Monica, you're in the bathroom.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. All right. That's crazy. Y'all are crazy. All right,
Okay.
Bev, you okay? I know you're tired. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Bev. Look at all those flowers.
We're so really, oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It was a great weekend. People at school.
Aw.
So sweet. You're loved. All right. Okay, I'll let y'all go. Send me your ideas, post them on the page, and we'll get this going. All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.